Hey, man.
Oh, we rolling? What's up, dude?
Yeah, we're rolling. Did you, I assume you watched college football all weekend.
Oh, yeah. Did you?
No, I actually missed it. What happened? Did my team play? Did
raise your hand if your team's still undefeated. Woo! Oh, your hand's not up. Oh,
well, I don't know. I didn't see my team play. What happened with the Huskies? Did they have a game?
You didn't miss much. Yeah. They got attacked by grizzly bears, and it was gruesome.
Bro, WTF, man. Like, I need some Lofa positivity this morning, dude. You got to pick me up off the pavement.
I don't know. I was celebrating, our win pretty hard, so I don't quite remember the details of that shootout between the Grizz and the Huskies. It was a 13-7, but I Bleav it's 102 years since the Grizz beat you guys. It's a couple years, man.
Yep.
That one's got to sting.
Yeah, man. 20 point favorites.
20?
To a D school, to a D2 school, or whatever they're calling it now.
You show a little respect to the FBS or
whatever it is.
FCS, FBS, right?
Are you kidding me? I'm ready to go lay down in Red Square and just I don't know, let the pigeons have me. I don't know what's going.
I don't know, but did you? And look, you know how much I hate the guys with golden helmets. But did you see that Notre Dame and Florida State game?
That was pretty sweet.
And the storyline with the kid, Mackenzie Milton, I Bleav his name is.
Yep.
So for those that don't, our listeners that don't know, a kid that shattered his leg to the point where so much nerve damage, the doctor's like, yo, his career's over, but if he does ever happen to play, then, I'm coming to the game. And so the other quarterback came out for a play. I don't know if his helmet came off or whatever, but this kid goes in, hands the ball off. They get a first down. Next one, he throws a corner route, just strike. And they're like, hey, you know what? Stay out there. Yeah. And from down 18-0 in the fourth quarter, he brings them all the way back to go to overtime. And unfortunately, they lost in overtime. But, you're going to talk about a miracle, man. This kid, they said he almost lost his leg.
Yeah.
And
it's incredible.
For him to come back, I'm ready for the Disney movie.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, dude. Made for Hollywood. 100%. Yeah.
Try to get me in there as a one of the actor in the back.
And look, hey, no matter whether your team won or lost to a school, college football is back and the atmosphere is awesome. And it was just really cool to see stadiums jumping around again and people having fun. And it was awesome. It was a good weekend. Lots of fun.
Oh, insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, dude. All right. Let's hit the theme music and start the Seahawks show.
I'm going to need a little more energy out of you.
All right.
Let's get this crowd going now. Come on, get him up, get him up, get him up. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Lofa to Tupu is up in the mix.
Go Hawks.
I'm just about that action, boss.
Takes the snap. He's going to throw down the middle. What a catch.
It's intercepted by Lofa to Tupu.
Holy catfish.
Hey, that's great football now.
It's going to work now. Let's keep playing.
Who's got my back?
I got your back. That's Lofa.
The player.
Triple plant. Thunder. On 1, ready. 3.
Russell looking. Russell scrambling. Pump faking. Still looking. Now he spins out.
We got to fly, baby.
40 down the far sideline. He's still moving. He's going to go.
20, 10. They do it again. Touchdown. Seahawks.
It's the Seahawks podcast on the Bleav Sports Network. You want energy? How's that for you, bub?
Damn right,
Thanks for
kid.
tuning in. If you got emails to send the show, you can do that anytime. SeahawksPod@gmail.com. That's SeahawksPod@gmail.com. Follow us on all social media. Bleav in Seahawks, BLEAV in Seahawks. Comment and subscribe or follow the podcast wherever there's podcasts. Whatever. You guys know what to do. Mm-hmm. On today's episode, it's game week 1 of the regular season. Preseason is officially behind us. We will get to all of the latest roster moves with the Seahawks. There's been a bunch of them. And then also Lawrence Owen from Bleav in Colts right here on the Bleav Sports Network will be joining the show to talk about the matchup between the Seahawks and the Colts. But first,
I sent a read.
It's that time of year again. And all of the eyes are now turning to football as the teams are back on the gridiron to start football season. And as always, Bet Online is your number one spot for pro and college football action this season. Now, you guys, I'm about to go over a lot of things that they got going on at betonline.ag. And if you don't take advantage of them, you're crazy. All right. So they have the online's biggest $500,000 NFL mega contest, $500,000 contest. Okay. Then they also have the world's largest $200,000 NFL survivor contest pool, which is open now. So that's two things they got going on over there. And then if you use our promo code, you get go ahead. Tell them the promo code.
Bleav, BLEAV.
If you use the promo code when you're signing up right now, you get a 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit. It used to be like 50%. Those days are over. It's now a 100% welcome bonus. And then also, if you thought that was it, you're wrong, Lofa. There's more.
No, tell me.
There is also an opening day super promo. If you make a bet on the Thursday game that's coming up this week between the Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and the Dallas Cowboys, and you lose the bet, it gets refunded. Up to $25. So basically, head over to betonline.ag, throw $25 down on the game, and if you win, congratulations to you. And if you lose, it didn't cost you anything. So what are you waiting for? Go to betonline.ag, use the promo code Bleav, and get in on all of the action. All right, Lofa. Seahawks have been making a lot of moves, and it's fast and furious, and it's hard to keep up with, but let's try. Dwayne Brown. He's back in practice, baby. He's back. He tweeted the arm flexing emoji and said year 14, and the internet lost its mind. Everybody was like, all right, sweet, he's back. Can you kind of explain this, though, a little bit, or have you looked into it? Because it's not an extension, but they're reworking it a little bit, and both sides are happy, and nevertheless, he's back at practice.
So, yeah, I don't have the details, but the last thing you said, both sides are happy, then – that means we're good. And it's good to see the big guy back in there. I know Russell is excited about this because, as we discussed all offseason, he was not excited about getting hit.
No, he's the happiest guy in the world about this.
Yes. So this is great news. It's a great day to be a Hawk.
Yeah, it is really good news. And, they're not going to talk about an extension right now. I mean, Pete Carroll, even in his press conference, almost got a little testy, just being like, all right, enough is enough. He's in practice. We're going to figure out the contractual stuff later. They're just sort of all that I've read is like they're reworking his current deal, and nevertheless, everybody's happy. But in terms of like an extension and locking him up long term, I guess they'll just wait till after the season's over to figure that out or make decisions.
I think it's, like I said, I think it was a pod or two ago when we were worried about it. It's he's of the age where it's tough to really forecast how many more years he has of really, high level ball that we've seen out of him since he's been here. Just come to an agreement, give him a couple little extra right now up front so that he can just go into this season as not the highest paid, but amongst what he's worth. And so I think we get that settled and we're good, right?
Yeah, and Pete also talked about how both sides were talking the whole time that it never got, too sticky or anything. And also he was kind of happy that Dwayne, he kind of mentioned like a bit of the Walter Jones treatment from back in the day, like where he's like, hey, Dwayne didn't have to play in the preseason. That's good for everybody. He's going to be fresh. And so that's a good thing.
It's just good to see in his wisdom and all the years of coaching, Pete's still growing, as a coach and realizing that we don't need preseason, Pete. All right.
Well, we're going to find out if that's true or not, right. Because nobody played this preseason and we got a game coming up.
Well, I mean, we got that extra game too. It's just a long season. And I'm just saying, he's played 14 years, not because he's got lucky. The guy's a stud.
Yeah.
And so, man, he's going to be fine. It's just like Walt. Like I told you, Walter didn't need any preseason.
Yeah.
Walter literally could have hopped off the couch, just like Beast Mode did a couple years ago, walked right into the playoffs and carried people on his back on his way to a touchdown. So it's just, he's a gamer.
Well, speaking of guys that didn't play in the preseason or whatever, Quandre Diggs. We were getting anxious about his contract and his sort of holding in or holding out or not wanting to practice, wanting a new contract, whatever. But he's back at practice. So what's up? Because I didn't hear about them reworking his deal or anything. So what's up? Question mark.
Did we get the same? Both sides are happy, because I haven't heard anything to that tune.
I mean, honestly, all I read this morning was he's back at practice. So I guess they're all happy and everything's all good. And maybe he was just dipping his toe in a little bit or something.
I have no idea. I need more details about this, but until I see a smile on his face at the podium, I'm not going to believe that he is happy without a new contract, because remember, he said he brought this up twice and then went into the camp with holding in as the new term. And so we knew very well from mini camps that he wanted a new deal. He wanted, extension. So the fact that it hasn't happened, I don't know. I'm pumped to see him back, but I just don't know how it's going to go. I wonder, are guys going to take it to the level of like Walter Jones, say this is, he was playing right now, like a guaranteed Hall of Famer. Are they going to take it to hey, you know what? I'm not practicing all year. I'll do some conditioning sprints on the side and I'll see you on Sunday. You're going to play me. You're going to play me. So because he's there, you're not facing the fine. Maybe, if they really want to, be pricks about it, they might go conduct detrimental, right? And then start slapping you with fines. But they're still going to play you on Sunday. You're still going to play Dwayne if he sits out of practice. You're still going to play Quandre if he sits out of practice. So I wonder where this new holding in is going to go.
Yeah, it's weird. Just reading directly from Seahawks.com about this Quandre Diggs thing, it says Carroll also confirmed, so they're talking about Pete's press conference. It says Carroll also confirmed that safety Quandre Diggs was back and on track to play Sunday after sitting out practices last week, while, as he put it, tending to, and then in quotes, so this is how Pete put what Quandre was doing. Quandre needed to tend to a couple of things, had to get cleared up for himself business-wise. So I don't know, but he's back at practice and
maybe he's made some new investments. Good for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Another roster.
The only thing I could read into that is that maybe he went and got the Lloyd's of London, insurance. So whether it's loss of value if he gets hurt, or even career-ending injury, so a little protection to give him peace of mind to go out and do what he does. And
how does that work? Did you ever do that?
I did. When my second year going to my third, there was not a contract dispute. I was like, hey, can I get a little, just, some guarantee that I'm going to be here for, the foreseeable future or whatever. It was coming on the heels of, what's up?
How many years did you have left at that point?
This is on the heels of my second year, my second Pro Bowl. I had 3 years. So yeah, in terms of, it was kind of, we both had leverage. It was like, hey, we can get something done. I don't care to be one of the highest paid, but you know what?
You kind of outperformed that rookie contract.
Yeah. Not many second rounders made the Pro Bowl, right? In their first contract. And so I went back and I was like, I was one of the captains, as a leader on your team. I would just appreciate. And, things get said behind those doors that I'm going to leave them behind the doors, but you can't be emotional about what's being said. That's tough when you're a 24-year-old kid, right? You're still a kid. And they, say some things like, oh, well, you really, you didn't play that well last year. I was like, okay, well, we made it to the playoffs again, another Pro Bowl. I'm not asking to be the highest paid. I'm just asking to be taken care of. And so when that goes down, it was, I go, you know what? Fine. I go, I'm going to go back and I'm going to make another Pro Bowl. I go, I hope we win the Super Bowl. And, but there's not going to be a hometown discount this time. I'll see you at this table next year, and it's going to cost you this time.
Right.
So I went and I got the Lloyd's of London, and I had the best year of my career. And just because I had peace of mind that, no matter what happens, you're guaranteed to get
with that insurance.
Yeah.
Right.
So I went out there and played just reckless.
Well, and then you came back and you went back to that table and you said, "Let's go."
I said, "Hey."
Yeah.
You tried
the Johnny Manziel.
I tried to do. Well, it wasn't Holmgren. It was, it was the brass, man. It
right.
was the front office, but it was like, hey, Manziel. No, I just said, hey, we could do this the hard way, or we could do this the easy way, and they chose the hard way. So,
yeah, all right. Yeah, I like it. Well, I'm just saying that after you came back from that third year, you were like, let's do this thing, and they did, right? And
yeah, like at that point, their hand was forced. It's 3 years, 3 Pro Bowls, only 2 years remaining on the contract. But that's why I put the Pro Bowl clause in there, because there was already a couple million owed to me for making the Pro Bowl. And that's, remember when we talked about it, I was like, hey, I want a Pro Bowl clause. They're like, we don't do that for second rounders. I go, that should have been a first rounder. So put that shit in there.
I love that. Confidence on our guy. I love it. Hey, let's talk about some more transactions, though, because Ahkello Witherspoon, who came over in the offseason, and I was so pumped. He came over from the Niners, and, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason, and he got traded to the Steelers this in the last couple of days here. And actually, Pete Carroll's quote is, "It just didn't work out, and another team wanted him." So they ship him off to the Steelers. I mean, what did you make of this move? Kind of a surprise, right?
It was, yes. But I didn't anticipate him to start anyways. So for me, no. But was surprised. What would we get, 5th rounder for him?
Yeah, not much value coming back. That's what I mean. So if you're going to sorry.
I mean, Cam Chancellor was a 5th rounder. Richard Sherman was a 5th rounder. Don't tell me. Don't tell me
that you thought was going to be a starter. I'm just saying.
You thought, not me.
Whatever.
Anyways, we've had a lot of value in that 5th round. I'll have you know.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that's pretty exciting news to get 5th round back for someone that was not going to start for us anyways. I didn't think he would start.
I love that glass half full about the 5th round. It's funny how the fans view it versus our man Lofa. I don't know, man. I mean, I just was a little surprised. I really thought he was going to be maybe a starting cornerback. And what did you see in the preseason? Do you think they were not happy with his level of play? Or do you really think this was just, there's a lot of cornerbacks, we don't really know what's up in the air, someone's offering something, let's pull the trigger? What do you think happened here?
Yeah, no, I think it's just we're probably not going to play him anyways. So if someone's going to offer, if it was a 6th or a 7th, we'd probably do it too. And I think it's a great move. But again, who's starting opposite Reed? Have we figured that out? All I know from what I saw in the preseason, I just saw a little too much cushion or respect is what we used to call it when a guy is just so far away from his. I'm talking there was some hitch routes and some 5-7 yard outs. He wasn't even in the frame, and I don't. It's you're either teaching it or you're tolerating it. So I don't know which it was, but it sounds like if they moved him, it's because they weren't happy with his level of play.
Dude, I don't know who's going to play cornerback for this team other than DJ Reed, honestly. Sidney Jones, I guess. They just brought him in, but
there we go.
Didn't get to see him in the preseason. So I don't know if he's, how up to speed he'll be. Our rookie, he's not going to play. He's injured. He's still coming back from an injury, a foot injury. So it's going to be a while. Pete even said in his press conference, it's going to be a while for him. So I'm getting nervous at cornerback, Marquise Blair and Ugo Amadi, they'll lock down the nickel position, but in terms of those 2 starting wide cornerbacks, I have no idea, except for Jay Reed, of course.
I think we'll see Sidney get in there. I think that's why they made the move to get him. So yeah, and I mean he's got to be pumped being back in Seattle, right down the street from his old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Are you concerned about the cornerbacks then?
No, because we got a hellacious pass rush that is just going to – I'm talking scorched earth, my man. They are going to ruin some offenses.
Well, let's talk about our quarterbacks for a second. Why do we have 3 of them on the roster?
The what?
Our quarterbacks.
Oh, QBs.
Yeah. Why do we have 3?
I think because Russell likes a number 3, and so he wanted 2 guys in the room with him. That's – my honest opinion.
Are you being serious? Really? Is that?
No, I'm not being serious. I can't believe At least Katie understood. Man.
Dude, I have no idea why there's 3 quarterbacks on this team. I'll take any answers at this point. Don't we need an extra maybe offensive lineman? I mean, we're getting a little thin at linebacker. There's, of course, one linebacker.
We have like 4 linebackers, don't we?
Talk about in a second. Why do we have 3 quarterbacks on this team? Why? Why Jake Luton? Why? Why not just practice squad? Why on the roster? Why?
Yeah, I don't know. And then I think, if we just held on to Mannion, we probably could have got something for him instead of cutting him and someone else. I don't know why, but Mannion was in high demand.
Yeah, I know. And I got nothing but love for the former Marysville Pilchuck High School grad. I love that he's a local guy. But, like, why 3 quarterbacks? I just don't understand this move at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea either.
When's the last time we had 3 quarterbacks going into week 1?
I mean, maybe my rookie year when we had Hasselbeck, Seneca Wallace, and David Green.
Yeah, weird.
But you bring a good point because with that third, it's not like he's a Taysom Hill. It's not like he's going to go out there and catch some footballs and throw a double reverse pass or whatever and give the opposing defense something to worry about. So,
he's going to be holding the clipboard and handing Russell Gatorade.
Yeah. We should write into them, ask them why.
If you guys got ideas on why we got 3 quarterbacks, I want to hear from you. Seahawkspod@gmail.com. Email us. Let us know. The captains have been announced. Russ, Bobby, and Nick Bellore, captains for your team. I mean, no duh, right?
I mean, awesome. Congrats to all 3 of these savages. Yeah, man. I mean, just 3 Pro Bowlers, doing what they do, being captain too.
I'm actually just sort of stalling because this next one gets me right in the feels here. Like I just mentioned, linebackers who I wish were here. KJ Wright, officially a Raider. We've been talking about so much on the podcast that we need to bring some official closure to it now that it's happened. But he's officially a Raider. He's going to join John Gruden and Las Vegas. And I don't know, man. It bums me out. But at the same time, I guess I get it. No, I don't. I don't understand this at all. What the hell happened? Can you peel back the curtain a little bit for the average fan? Like, what happened here?
I don't. When you get to a certain age, and this is like when you're over 30, the market significantly drops, even if your play doesn't. And what I was surprised about was KJ's play increased career highs in several categories the last 2 years, didn't miss a start. And I think where a lot of these teams that missed out on a phenomenal human being on top of a great player is they missed out on getting one of those guys that's a building block that sets the way for the future of their franchise. There are so many new head coaches, and I don't want to name them because it upsets me to see a guy get disrespected that's done so much for not just this city, this community, the Hawks bringing their first title, but also the NFL as a brand. What he's done for that shield. Up for the Walter Payton Award, year in, year out, won the Largent Award just the other year. It's like it's one of the greatest leaders I've been around. And for a front office, or a team out there that's, a newer head coach, not to say, hey, I know his value, I know his worth, and I know what he's going to do to set up the next 5 years. It's going to make my life easier as a coach because he's going to, take the message and show the young guys, this is how we did it in Seattle, and this is how I expect it to be done here. So I couldn't believe that it took this long to sign. And I knew it was going to happen as soon as the first week of the regular season, because then since the 2011 CBA collective bargaining agreement, even a vested that his contract's no longer guaranteed, which is just another way for, the owners to win.
Yeah.
I mean, they're billionaires for a reason. They win at business, but it's just the nasty side of business. But I just, for the life of me, still cannot fathom why several teams that have not even sniffed the playoffs, in years, would not take a flyer on a proven veteran with all those stats and then all that leader, a decade of bringing Seattle to the top.
Yeah.
To me, it kind of makes sense that it's Gruden and the Raiders that he lands at, because I think Gruden is a guy who like totally gets it and obviously respects KJ, but understands all that veteran type leadership type stuff. I mean, another guy who gets it is Pete Carroll for sure. I mean, he talked about KJ at the press conference here. I'll just read Pete's words. He says, KJ has been an incredible Seahawk and an incredible man in this community as well, just like Lofa just said. Carroll goes on, there aren't enough words to talk about the kind of person that he is, the great competitor that he is, the wonderful contributor he's been in the program for 10 years. We've had a blast together. I love KJ. Through the process, we stayed together and talked through it. And as he made a decision, this was a good choice for him at this time. So he jumped at it. KJ will always be, I don't know how long he plays in Las Vegas, but he will always be a Seahawk. And I mean, of course, is it one of these things where like, I mean, was he ever going to sign with the Seahawks again? Or was it always just kind of done ever since this preseason kind of started? Like, I know Seahawks fans always held out that glimmer of hope. Reading that, it kind of feels like it was like, you know, everything's amicable and we're all still going to be friends and everything, but I don't know if they were ever going to re-sign him. No,
I mean, it's like I said, it was probably the point of where it's okay, we're trying to get younger at the position, we're essentially moving on. But yeah, had an injury happen, you know, and not to BBK, he's a backup, you know, so you're not going to bring KJ in to sit. You know, so it would have had to have been a starter going down. And yes, he would have been in that building the next day. But, you know, other places, so like kind of the situation he was in is that, okay, you know, I'm not going to get the money that my stats should have offered. So now it's like, where do I, because there's a couple teams that were still talking to me, even though they didn't bring him in. There's still several teams talking to him, like, hey, how you doing? Like, what are you thinking? You know, what are the numbers at? And they were ready to bring him in, you know, as soon as the new league year started. But with KJ, I know KJ, he just wants to play football. Yeah. You know, and anywhere he goes, he's going to make the team better. And I think the Raiders are pretty solid, you know, landing spot for him, you know, and they've gotten better each year. And so since Gruden's getting there, and so they're close to at least getting to the playoffs, and in a tough division, you know, when you got the reigning champs, Kansas City, right there. So we'll see. You know, I just can't wait to see him play ball again. And I know that's the kind of the situation you're forced at when you don't have a team to start, you know, for the offseason and everything is, okay, I either stay in shape and wait for an injury. Injuries are going to happen. And that's just the nature of the game, right? I know that. So, you know, at that point, you just got to wait. It's a waiting game, stay in shape, and then, you know, sign with a team down the road that, you know, hopefully it's a team that's in the hunt and needs a linebacker, because he can play Mike, Sam, or Will. And that's what really blew my mind. A guy with 3 positional values still 3 positional value, like to not in the leadership. It makes me sick. I got to stop talking about it. I know. KJ, I love you, kid. I mean, thank you for everything, and keep kicking ass, man. You know, put everybody on notice.
Yeah. See you in the Ring of Honor someday.
Damn right.
Let's move on. So that brings me to my next thing here, Lofa. I don't know if you've heard, but former NBA player Lamar Odom might be returning to professional basketball in Spain soon, and he owes it all to a product called Balance 7. You've heard of it, Lofa. We've been talking about it here on the show. You got to get your alkaline balance. You got to get your pH balance, right?
All about homeostasis, brother.
Go to balance7.com. Use our promo code
Bleav, BLEAV,
and get some Balance 7. You can check out exactly how Balance 7 has helped. And right now, if you go to balance7.com and you use the promo code Bleav, like we talked about, you'll get $10 off of their 32-ounce bottle. The bottle lasts 11 days, which is the perfect amount of time to feel the pH balancing drink go to work. Again, that's Balance 7. Use the promo code Bleav at checkout. I did, and if it worked for me and Lamar, it can work for you too. All right, Lofa. Week 1, guest number 1 of the season, Lawrence Owen from the Bleav in Colts podcast right here on the Bleav Sports Network. Hold on, let me get an applause for Lawrence. There it is. Joining us right now on the show. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? Appreciate you having me on.
Of course, man. I mean, you know, the Bleav Network, we got to stick together here, right? So
Family.
welcome to the show, man. Bleav in Colts, you guys. You can find it anywhere you find podcasts. Leave them a review, subscribe, all that good stuff. You host the show with DeQuell Jackson. Baller, right? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. I'm really excited about this show. We just started 2 weeks ago, and I feel like, you know, there's nothing like having a former player that you get along with, right? You get that connection with and sit and talk, and he's a great person overall.
Oh, phenomenal human being and football player. Me and Brett don't really get along, but, you know, we've got some chemistry there.
Yeah. I mean, dude, absolute stud as a player, right, Lofa? You want to talk about DeQuell's time in the league a little bit?
Oh, man, ever since coming out, I was in Maryland. I mean, just probably racking up 150 tackles every year. Everywhere he went, he was a leader. Everywhere he went, that defense got better, and that team got better because of him. And I think that speaks volumes about a player's game when he takes everybody else to another level.
Well, I'm sure you guys are getting into it over there on Bleav in Colts, Lawrence, but I mean, you got to be excited for the season to start, right? If not for any other reason, then we might finally get to see some starters play.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, especially with the fact that, you know, last year was last year, on top of not having, you know, this whole preseason, you know, like what we had this year. So we had to go through this whole preseason thing, unlike what we had last year, to get us all ramped up for this season. And now we're just sitting here waiting for that initial kickoff, right?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's game week, baby.
I can't wait. I mean, let's get into it, guys. So the Seahawks traveling to Indianapolis for the first game of the season. Seahawks, I think right now favored by 2.5, but mostly due to like injury reports and COVID protocols and all kinds of other things going on out there. But they're, in any case, favored a little bit on the road here. I mean, who wants to jump in first? How are we feeling about week one? Lofa, from a Seahawk perspective, like, how are you feeling going into this game?
I mean, unsure really how to feel. I mean,
yeah,
I know, it's so many unknowns, as we've talked about. But just excited to finally see our starters play. We've had some good news with guys coming back to practice that were, I don't know if you want to call them holding out, holding in. It's just exciting that they're going to suit up in practice. And so, you know, as the week unfolds, you know, we'll see a little more about who'll be available. And yeah, but it's an exciting time for every franchise. This is where everybody believes, yeah, this is our year. We're going all the way.
Yeah.
And so, and I know Lawrence feels the same way. So, I mean, we can turn it over to him.
Well, yeah. I mean, Lawrence, how are Colts fans feeling about this season? Like us as Seahawks fans, we're nervous just because we haven't seen the starters playing in the preseason and stuff. But at least our starters have played for our team before. Carson Wentz, I mean, how are you guys feeling going into this season?
Well, we were optimistic with Carson Wentz starting out because, you know, he had one bad year, and that was with a team that was like completely injured from top to bottom. And, you know about, you know, the whole history between him and the front office and all of that stuff. And so we were like, you know, Carson's going to come to Indy. He's going to reunite with Frank Wright. He's got good players around him, all that neat stuff. Should be good. Then foot injury, right? Got to have the surgery. He's out for 3 weeks, you know, which amazing that he's out there full practice this week, you know, last week, you know. So that was just an amazing situation. Him and Quentin Nelson, you know. And then he had the COVID protocol thing happen, close contact. So he's out 5 days, you know. Wow. And so we're a little nervous for week one.
Yeah.
You know, a little nervous.
Are you more nervous though about the Seahawks coming in, or just nervous about your own team?
More nervous about our own team. No offense to you guys. It's just it's more we don't feel like he's had time to build that chemistry with the rest of the team, you know. And yes, I understand he's been able to do walkthroughs and do the mental reps, which are all incredibly important. But getting that timing down with his receivers and understand and getting that handoff thing with the center, you know, stuff like that, that's so important. And it makes us a little bit nervous about that.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean,
I got a question, Brett. Then behind him, do you have confidence in the guys, Lawrence, behind him? And one of it's a Husky, right? Eason. has he shown you enough in the preseason to be confident should Wentz not perform?
That's an interesting question. So we're talking about Jacob Eason, who literally only played 2 years in college, right? And both those years were different colleges, you know? And then last year, he was third on the roster chart, you know, behind Rivers, behind Brissett, didn't get any snaps. Mm-hmm. So basically, we got a guy who played 2 years in college, and that's it, you know? Mm-hmm. And so he comes in, Wentz is hurt. He comes in, obviously, during training camp. I was there for like 75% of the training camp. And he obviously started off a little rusty, a little rough. He was still new to the NFL, not up to the NFL speed, you know, the playbook, stuff like that. But as training camp went on, it seemed like he was really starting to catch up and understand the NFL, how things run. And his accuracy got a lot better. His decision-making got a lot better. He still, in my opinion, maybe throws the ball a little too hard to guys that are 5 yards away from him.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Likes to show off that arm strength, huh?
Oh, my goodness.
A lot. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you can't tell if he's throwing it or if he teleports the football.
No, he's trying to break fingers out there. I mean, okay, but like, what should Seahawks fans be nervous about then in these Colts?
Oh, well, I believe that the Colts legitimately are incredibly deep at nearly every position on the offense. Outside of left tackle, we'll probably end up getting to that later with Eric Fisher and what's going on in that department. But, I mean, the offensive line, very, very solid across the board. Mm-hmm. We believe that the wide receiving group, even with T.Y. Hilton on IR, is deep because last year they just didn't have the opportunity to show how good they are, you know, due to injuries and things of that nature. And then we think that our running back group may be the best in the NFL, depth wise, you know, going from Jonathan Taylor, Marlon Mack, Naheem Hines, you know, those are three very solid running backs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Lofa, a lot of play action. How do you think this unfolds here? Because they're going to lean on the run game, don't you think? I mean, even if it is Carson Wentz, it's game one, you know, like not a lot of preseason played. So going to run first and then probably try to go over the top after that.
Always run to set up the pass. And if you can get the run game going, it makes things, you know, significantly easier, especially for the quarterback, someone new to not the system, but, you know, to the team. You know, and just like we said, he hasn't had much experience with this group. So definitely. And yeah, they have no shortage of weapons in the backfield. I mean, and all three of those running backs can not only run inside and outside the tackles, but they are a threat to catch the ball too. And so, you know, with any team that's great at running the ball, they're usually pretty good at running screens as well. And I've seen, you know, Mac and all those guys take a screen and go 40 yards, no problem. So yeah, we got our work cut out for ourselves.
Well, and I think, you know, if there's something that Seahawks fans are nervous about, or at least that I'm nervous about it, or as we even go into the season, not just against the Colts, but the overall season, it's the cornerbacks and our secondary a little bit, you know, very soft, especially to start the season last season. Now we're moving pieces all the time, as we're always talking about. But so, you know, I'm not so nervous about like stopping the run initially, but that play action off of the run and the way that we played in the secondary. I mean, that does have me a little nervous.
Well, yeah. And then you got to think, you know, those numbers were skewed from last year. We were so good at stopping the run because everybody was throwing on us. And you're right. We have not completely addressed every issue in terms of the cornerback position. I think we just got two new guys after roster, you know, the final roster was made. So it's who knows who's going to be out there starting.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth.
How is Quentin Nelson feeling, though? We've touched on him or we mentioned his name a couple of times, but let's get into it here. I mean, he's going to play, right, Lawrence?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's set to play week one against you guys. And it was more because of the way how the surgery was done, it's more pain tolerance than anything else, right?
Oh, okay.
They're not worried about any kind of re-injuring it or something like that. Yeah, no, it's more about pain tolerance, and apparently both Carson and Quentin Nelson are able to handle that quite well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Middle linebackers, Lofa. I know you want to talk linebackers going into this game.
Do I ever? We got two of the best in the league squaring off. And, I wish DeQuell was here for this, because every time I was facing another premier linebacker, it's not like I tried harder, but it was like, oh, man, just like we always talk about quarterbacks dueling, but they never hyped up Urlacher and Ray Lewis, when they faced off. And those are storylines that I think, being a linebacker, I should cover. And Bobby Wagner, Darius Leonard, if you put Leonard's numbers up there, he's borderline Hall of Fame already. If you just go numbers without the tackles, I mean, he's I think Bobby's got 1,200 tackles and Leonard's got probably 700, but Leonard's only played 4 years. And so it's insane with the forced fumbles, tackles for loss, interceptions, sacks. He was robbed his rookie year, should have been in the Pro Bowl. I think he did make second team All-Pro, but insane what this kid's been able to do. And Bobby Wagner, my thoughts on him. Best to ever suit up for the Hawks, and also first ballot Hall of Famer already in my book. He's just putting icing on the cake now with every year he suits up.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun to watch. Lawrence, why does your guy fly under the radar from fan perspective in terms of the whole NFL? Colts fans obviously know and love him, but the name, he flies under the radar a little bit. Why?
You got me. I have no idea. As a Colts fan, like you said, obviously I know and love Darius Leonard. I think he's great. A lot of people seem to think that because he's undersized, that he's only 220, right? Yeah. And they think that he's not that good overall. That sure he could do some things good or other things good, but he's suffers in other areas, and I don't see it. I don't see it at all. He's a guy who uses his arms, his arm length, in order to keep separation from blocks and shed those blocks to get to tackles. He wraps well. He goes after the ball well. He uses that arm length in pass coverage, especially when he's sitting in zone, to read, react, get out, swat balls, things of that nature. I think Darius is great, but you go talk to San Francisco fans, you go talk, because of that linebacker there. Mm-hmm. You go talk to Bears fans because of the linebacker there, and they're all saying, well, Darius might be top 5, but our guy's number 1. And I still have to stop and go, whoa, dude. First off, you got the guy who's been number 1 for the last 5-6 years in Wagner, so you got to step up there too.
Yeah. And I think maybe it's just, I don't think he gets the media exposure. I don't think as many primetime games. The Hawks, we're must-see TV out here lately in the last decade. And so we get about five or six primetime games. And that goes a long way in terms of people, becoming a household name. But I can't wait to just really watch a full game of Leonard and Wagner. And it's going to be incredible.
Hell yeah.
You make a good point about that whole primetime game thing. The Colts have not hosted a primetime game in 4 years.
Wow.
4 years.
There you have it.
Let's get to the score predictions for this game. Even though we don't know much about these two teams and haven't seen much in the preseason, let's just take some wild flyers and let the people know how we think this thing's going to shake out. Who's brave enough to jump in first? Me? What, you guys want me to go first? Or?
Start it off.
All right. Dude, honestly, I have no idea what's going to happen here. We have a brand new offense, a brand new offensive coordinator. Our starter has only taken reps in practice so far. He's Russell Wilson though, right? So, dude, I don't know. I'm going to say, I got to rep the Seahawks here. So the Seahawks are going to win, but I think this thing is going to be pretty sloppy offensively. I just do. So I think this is going to be one of those weird Seahawks week 1 games. We all know how week 1 goes for the Seahawks most of the time. I think this is one of those weird games. Final score, Seahawks 12, Colts 8.
You love the weird scores.
Wow.
He loves the baseball, extra innings type score.
Oh my goodness.
Two missed extra points for the Seahawks, and for some reason a 2-point conversion.
And what you probably got the Colts for 4 safeties. What do you? What's that 8 coming from?
No, I think it's a 2-point conversion for no reason. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say, you might have the mishaps, maybe a couple turnovers each side, but I'm going to say I think this is generally a lower scoring game, not as low as Brett's, but I'm going to go 21-17, and I gotta go with my Hawks. Sorry, Lawrence.
Lawrence, come on now. All
right.
You gonna back the Colts?
Well, yeah.
As if there was any doubt with the background there. I mean, look at this guy.
Well, I mean, I back the Colts no matter what, but it doesn't mean that, I think they're going to win every game. I do believe they have a good shot at winning this game, though. Mainly because there are a few things that do scare me. Your wide receiving core is very, very solid with Lockett and Metcalf. And then, of course, Russell Wilson with his ability to extend a play so he could throw the football. And against our zone defense, that's a scary situation. I'm honestly thinking that this could be a higher scoring game. I would take the over in this game. I think we're looking at more of a 31-28 type game. I think it'll come down to whoever wins the turnover battle in this game.
Absolutely.
That's what I've
Dude,
got.
sign me up for that right now, because I mean the last 5 years of Seahawks games, seriously, it's 9-6.
Oh, to start?
Yeah. So anything with a lot of scoring and some entertainment, I would be down for. Lawrence, thanks so much for jumping on the pod, man. You guys can find Bleav in Colts, like I said, any podcast network out there. Give them a subscribe and all that stuff. Follow Lawrence on social media at Colts_law. He's also on Instagram, his full name, Lawrence Owen. Also, DeQuell Jackson on social media at DeQuell Jackson. Thanks, man. Thanks for being a part of it.
Appreciate you having me. Can't wait to see the game this Sunday, and hopefully we get to do this again sometime soon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, right on. Thanks, Lawrence.
Zone in, Lofa. Let's zone in, okay? Zone in CBD is the best CBD in the game, and we zone in because it's Lofa's company and because it's a great product. ZoneInCBD.com, everybody. Sign up for your subscription today. Use our promo code
Bleav, BLEAV,
for 20% off of your purchase at ZoneInCBD.com. You can also pick it up in person at any Bartell drugstores up there in the PNW. Lofa, I wrote on the rundown that we were going to talk about our fantasy teams, but then I texted you about it, and you said, I'm an actor now. I'll roll with whatever you got. So I'm going to flip the script on you and surprise you and test these acting abilities. Lofa, we're looking at week 1. It's a brand new NFL season. Let's make some year-long predictions.
Year-long?
That we can look back on later. I'll write them down.
It's so long. I'm pulling up my team, by the way.
Season predictions. MVPs, Rookie of the Year, Super Bowl, Seahawks overall record, things like that. Where do you want to start? You want to start with MVPs, rookies, Super Bowl predictions? You want to start at the top?
Oh, you start it, man.
All right.
I love my team, by the way. I just saw them. Love them.
Checking out your fantasy team?
Yep, I love them.
Lofa
make sure you see
every
it.
year, so yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Hurts.
sees the team till
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Jones, what? Kelsey, Waller, let's go.
Oh, who do you think's going to be your MVP?
I mean, Aaron Jones for sure. That guy.
Lofa Tatupus.
All right.
What do you think? I mean, let's start with offensive MVP for the league. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, our guy Russell Wilson, of course.
You know what? Yeah, I think because of the ridiculous amount of disrespect, because MVP is different from they still have the offense and defensive player of the year too, right?
Right, and then
they have the MVP, right? So I think this is the year that Russ at least gets the respect and gets offensive and player of the year.
Player of the year. Okay.
Yeah. I think this is that year.
Dude, I like that. I mean, I would love to sign off on that as an absolute homer. However, I have not seen Russell Wilson play in this new offense, not one time. My eyes have never seen it. I mean,
You got a good point there.
like video on Seahawks.com of practice, which you can't tell anything from that, and it's not even the overhead shot or anything. So I hope that happens, but I have no idea.
Who are you going with then?
I mean, dude, it's hard to go away from Mahomes, of course, in Kansas City, just because the guy is like a human, video game.
Well, see, for me, him and like Rodgers, they're already launched into that MVP.
Right.
Category.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like,
that's true. That's a good point.
They don't even get consideration for offensive player of the year because, right, it's like a participation award these days. Like, oh, well, if he's the MVP, he can't be the offensive player. It's like, well, he's the MVP and he was an offensive player. He also should have won offensive player of the year.
How about this for you? I'll remain a homer, but I'll give you maybe a guy who's got an outside shot, or maybe someone that no one's talking about. What about DK Metcalf, man? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? Third season, guy's a beast. He's ready to, like, the fans are back. He's going to be so pumped. Got this new offense here. Maybe more yards after the catch. Why not?
We're talking offensive player of the year.
Yeah, why not?
I think he could. Did Julio ever win it when he was? I mean, he was on top for like 6 or 7 years balling. Yeah. I don't know if they ever gave it to him. So that's the only hesitation I have there. I think Calvin might have got it when he almost had 2,000 yards. I mean, he really should have been the MVP talk, not just. I think that's the only receiver I can really remember probably getting that.
Could be McCaffrey too, though. Don't forget. I mean, that guy gets the ball in like every play.
There we go. Now you know what?
Every time.
Completely forgot, because he had a tough injury-riddled year last year. But I mean, there was at one point in the previous year or two where he was like 85% of the offense.
Yeah. Oh, I know. If that's my non-homer pick, I'll put it that way. That's a solid pick, and Metcalf's a good pick. I just the sheer volume that you need for a receiver to get that. It's just tough. And that's why, like, even like Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and all the receivers that they have over there, they take away from each other. And then all it does is build up Mahomes because, it's like, 400 yards is 400 yards. But when you have to split it up amongst those guys, it's just tough. So
how about defensively? Who's taking home the POY defensively?
Yeah, it's tough because Aaron Donald has shown no signs of slowing down.
That was my pick. Dang.
It's so much that he's also in the talk of MVP, most valuable player. So I mean, obviously it's the easy one to pick, but I love linebackers and not just the ones that rush, not the fake linebackers. All right, I always had a problem. These guys that rush 90%.
What's a fake linebacker? You're talking about pass rushing specialist?
Yeah. These outside 3-4 linebackers that don't ever drop into coverage. All they do is get sacks. It's like, I'm sorry, but you're not a real linebacker. So it's easy to go with, the TJ Watt and all those guys that come off the ball 90% of the time. But I'm going to say, man, I hope this is the year my boy Bobby gets recognition, But it's just tough because Bobby – Leonard Warner is getting a lot of credit because he's doing some good things. He's got a phenomenal D line over there. I think I could probably play behind that D line right now. And then Devin White came out of nowhere last year and just blazed the scene, man. So I'm taking my man who's been doing it the longest, B Weezy. Wags is my pick.
I love that. I was going to mention Aaron Donald for sure because how can you not? Like the guy benches 500 pounds and just wins Player of the Year every year. But yeah, I mean, Bobby, dude, absolutely, this should be the year if he does what he does every year. I mean, he's been in the league for so many years. He's a veteran. Like, give it to him already. I think that's a good pick. You know what? What about I'll stay a homer. What about our guy Jamal?
I was just gonna say the only
brand
reason
new contract.
Bobby,
he wants like 30. He wants to have like what did we say a couple episodes ago? He wants 23 sacks this year or something like that.
He said 15 and like 5. He wanted like 15 sacks and 5 interceptions and
yeah, he's coming for it, dude. He's got lofty goals.
I believe it. And like I said, if Bobby doesn't win it, it's because Jamal probably won it. I mean, that's how. I mean, it's incredible what Jamal does game in and game out. He just looks like he's moving at a different speed. I've said it a couple times. If you watch that defense and you just see a blur, you don't see the number, that was Jamal.
Yeah, you can bet on that. Rookie of the years?
Man, I know it was just preseason, but I had on defense Zaven Collins, the kid from Tulsa that's down at Arizona.
Yeah.
He looks solid, It's still early, but it wasn't. I was expecting a lot more, like right away. 6'4", 260, can fly, and like he's got a lot of great pieces around him. So I'm not going to give up on him just yet, but it wasn't as clean as I expected. Even had a little trouble in cover two. That deep middle post that you got to run as a middle linebacker. It's tough duties, but at that size and speed, he should have no problem doing it. So we'll see. I'm going to stick with him. Offensively, I didn't see as much of Najee Harris as I wanted to. So
he's going to be a beast for the Steelers. I think he's going to have a great season.
think he is, but I didn't see – I don't know. I didn't see too much about it, so I might be shifting that one. I don't know. Who you going with?
Offensively, I'm gonna do Justin Fields. I think it's Justin Fields. I know he's the starter right now. Dude, he's gonna be the starter by week 3. Write it down. It's gonna happen.
You think so?
Much more, yes, it's the Russell Wilson factor. He's so much more exciting to watch than Andy Dalton will ever be. And he looked great in some of those preseason games. I think that they're being weak in Chicago by not just naming him the starter already, honestly. It's so weak, man. We had Matt Flynn. We named Russ the starter. Why? Because he's entertaining as hell, and he gave our team a better chance to win, and you could see that. And the players were excited about it, and the rest is history with Russell Wilson. I think Chicago is making a mistake by not just giving it to him.
That's a good point. But you know what? You know what? No, I'm shifting my pick. Even though I love Najee, he's going to have a great year. He'll probably get 1,500 yards. 10 touchdowns, make a Pro Bowl, and they still won't vote him as the Rookie of the Year. You know why? Because they love quarterbacks. The media loves quarterbacks. So, you're right. Great call with Fields. I'm going Mac Jones.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the story of the NFL right now. Mac Jones. The Mac Jones era has begun.
And I mean, Zach Wilson probably looks the most complete quarterback out of all of them. But you still got Trey Lance out there. Who knows what they're going to do? If he didn't hurt his finger, he probably starts.
Well, and don't forget Trevor Lawrence, the blonde wonder down there in Jackson.
Yeah. Forgot sunshine. Yeah, sunshine.
Yeah. I mean, Mac Jones, I almost went with that just because of the Patriots and Belichick and the whole system that he's going to be in and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, man.
Well, he's going to have a solid running game because, Bill always runs the ball. And those running backs that they had, they look good enough for them to ship what's his name, Sonny Michel out to the Rams.
Yeah,
then
back in, they sent Michelle over here. Yeah.
He brought in those 2 tight ends, Henry and Johnny Smith. I think Aguilar's there, right, and Kendrick Bourne, and then they still have Jacoby Myers from last year, who was really turning some heads. So they have weapons. And I think he's brought in a lot of pieces on that defense to make life easier. A defense and a run game is a young quarterback's best friend.
Who plays in and who wins the Super Bowl?
Who plays in and wins the Super Bowl? It's hard, not to choose our team.
I know.
I got us winning the division, so I mean, I don't want to jinx myself.
It might be the hardest division in football.
Us or the AFC North, I think.
Yeah.
But I got us winning the division. You go with this one first. I'm trying to think of who we're gonna.
I don't know. I don't know if I can be a homer on this one. I would love to say it's the Seahawks, but I'm just nervous about the offense, and I don't know what we have in terms of because I just haven't seen them play at all. So if you were forcing me to pick the Super Bowl here today as I sit here, I mean, dude, hard to go away from the Kansas City Chiefs, of course, but that would be 3 years in a row for them. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think. As much as I don't like this team, the Steelers?
What?
From the AFC?
No way. No way, bro. I'm going to go with
super good defense. Ben is always solid, Najee Harris, exciting young rookie.
Nah.
Mike Tomlin, hell of a coach.
I bet they finish third in their division.
Okay. Whoa, in their division?
Yeah.
I'm writing that one down. Steelers.
I got the Browns winning it all with the Ravens at 2, and then the Bengals picking very early in the first round next year again, as always.
All right, fine. I mean, do you want to put the Browns in the Super Bowl then?
Well, so hey, it's for me.
Go ahead, you do it.
Okay, it's between the Browns and the Bills, and I'm going Browns as my surprise pick to make the Super Bowl.
Lofa Tatubu has the Browns in the Super Bowl. Somebody cut it out. Put it on the internet.
Wait, just relax. So I mean,
maybe he doesn't.
They took. I mean. Boy, they were 4th and 1 from beating the defending champs, on their field, right?
Yeah, that's
the
right.
Bills got embarrassed. I'm not buying the hype. I'm not buying the hype from the Bills. I'm going Browns.
Oh, so he is going Browns. Okay.
I'm going Browns.
All right.
I'm going Browns versus the Bucks.
Wow. Browns and Bucks.
The Bucks return all starters. I think they finally got all the guys around Tom. They got a taste of what championship feels like. Mm-hmm. And now their minds are set towards, okay, this is what we do. And now when they come out with that kind of confidence, because I've been there, right? When me and Pete back in the glory days at SC, early 2000s, when we were just like, oh, we're just going to go out here and just beat the shit out of everybody. This is what we do. And, so I think they're going to be a scary team to watch this year. I don't think the Super Bowl went to their head. I think it just made them more hungry because Tom, he's running out of time. Let's get serious.
They're recruiting all 22 starters.
All 22.
All 22.
And and if you thought their pass rush was good last year, they just picked up your boy Tryon from UW.
Yeah, man.
Who everybody's been raving about over there.
Yeah.
So I'm going Bucks versus the Browns.
All right. All right.
Hopefully we beat the Bucks in the NFC Championship. That's what I really think is going to happen. But
I want us to be in the game. Don't forget, everybody. Okay, it's just I don't. I mean, if you're,
it doesn't work out when we pick our team.
Yeah, I think what it could be Aaron Rodgers versus Ben Roethlisberger. Maybe.
I mean, I'm just gonna take two completely different teams just for fun here. I'm gonna say the Bucks lose in the NFC Championship to A-Rod, even with the turbulent offseason and stuff like that. Because, I mean, they got a squad over there. And I'm hoping that it's our Seahawks, but, hey, there you go. What are the Seahawks?
Steelers aren't even making the playoffs. Write that shit down.
Our team, you have them winning the division, but what's their record? And then we're getting out of here because we've gone long. What's the overall record this year for our Hawks?
It's either 11-6 or 12-5. We're getting double digits. Everyone knows that. So
weird with that extra game now.
Yeah.
By the way, my brain is not used to that yet.
Yeah. I'm going 12-5.
12-5. Okay. 12-5. Yeah. I don't know, man. New offense. I think the beginning of the season is going to be a lot more stressful on Seahawks fans than we realize. Seahawks Twitter is going to be insane the first 3 weeks of this season. I hope not, but we start slow every year. Yeah, I'm going to go 11-6.
But we're playing the AFC South? So, I mean, Tennessee, probably the only loss there.
I don't know, man. I think it's gonna be tough. But write me down for 11-6, and I'll hope that I'm wrong. That's a wrap on this episode, everybody. We got to get out of here. Thanks for listening. Seahawkspod@gmail.com is the email address. You can hit us up on there anytime. Also follow us on any social media at Bleav in Seahawks. Support our sponsors, Balance 7, BetOnline.ag, and ZoneInCBD.com. Lofa, we'll talk during the game, I guess.
Yeah, we will. What are we breaking it down to?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I don't know, man.
Beat the Colts? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
All right, everybody. Good practice. Seahawks. Make sure to bring it on Sunday. Play like you practice and beat the Colts on 3. Beat the Colts on me. 1, 2, 3.
Beat the Colts.